Hello and welcome to English 202. My name is Tony Berman and I will be the instructor for this online course. I would like to take a few minutes to cover a few things about the course. Specifically, I'd like to talk about the course design or the interface that we'll be using. I'd like to talk about the content of the course. I'd like to talk about what it means to take a course in 8 weeks. And I'd like to give you an understanding of what a typical week looks like. So, let's get started. First, let's take a look at that interface. Now, if you are watching this video, then obviously you've already arrived on the course homepage. And so this week, the course homepage says homepage for week 1. You've got this introductory video, you've got an overview, and then you've got the course schedule that you can take a look at. Now, each week, you can consider this page the landing pad. That is, this page is updated. So this week it says overview of week 1, and I give you a little understanding of what we'll be doing. In week 2, there'll be an overview of week 2, etc. When you access the home page, you're always one link away from all of the materials that you need. So, for example, if I click on these week 1 materials here, I'll have access to this page. And I've designed the course with 8 major pages, 1 page for each week. And so if you look at week 1 materials, I've provided you all of the materials that you need to read or watch and all of the work that you need to do. And so each week has 2 due dates. And so I've also made sure that all of the materials are organized under each of the due dates. So if we look here, on Tuesday, you've got things that you need to take a look at for Tuesday and work that you need to accomplish for Tuesday. For Thursday, you've got some materials I'd like you to take a look at and work that you need to do. And so the logic is that you never need to go anywhere other than this page to start all of the work for a given week. Everything is hyperlinked out. So I've hyperlinked you to all of the materials to read, and then I've given you hyperlinks to all of the writing journals you need to do, to the drafting you need to do, to the discussion boards, etc. The hope is that everything is clear and streamlined. As long as you access this page, you'll be able to access all materials at all times. So that's the interface for the course. I hope that that's clear. All right, let's move forward a little bit and let's talk a little bit about the content, what the course is actually about. And to do that, let's take a look at the syllabus here. You have a link to this syllabus in those week 1 materials. Now, before I get into some of the nitty-gritty, let me just highlight one thing here, and that is my email address. My email is aberman@miracosta.edu, and so that's the easiest way to contact me. You can also contact me via Canvas, and then it links to that email address. But I just want to point that out in case you've got a question or concern and you've got to get it in front of me as soon as possible. Okay, let's talk about the course. Good news, I provide all of the materials. Now, I want to highlight how I've designed the course. And before we even talk about the design, let's talk about the title itself. This course is called Critical Thinking and Composition. And we can think of composition as writing. And for us, we can think of critical thinking as argument and persuasion. And so simply, this is a course about writing, argument, and persuasion. And so what we're going to do is we're going to analyze how arguments are made, and we're going to write or build our own arguments. And so I've devised 4 different units here. And fair warning, if you've taken English courses in the past, you may find that a lot of the work that we do in this course is related to those courses, but is at the same time much different. Let me give you a very quick example. In this first unit here, everyone will be analyzing arguments, and then everyone will be crafting an op-ed or an opinion editorial. And so you'll be writing in a genre that may be new to you. In other words, I'm not asking everybody to only write these generic academic essays that they may have written in previous courses. Instead, in each of the units, you'll be crafting a piece in a different genre. And so that can be new for a lot of students. For some students, it's really liberating, and for some students, it takes a little bit of getting used to. But I want to point that out so that you're prepared and so that you have an idea of what we have in store. And so in the first unit, we're going to be writing these op-eds, the sort of opinion editorial that you may find in a newspaper or a magazine. In the second unit, we're going to examine this notion of discourse, and you guys are going to be crafting these reports. In the third unit, we're going to be examining how objects argue, and you guys are going to craft a research paper, although the research paper is upside down, and I'll talk about that in a lot more detail as we get closer. And in the final unit, you craft a reflection. So there is one project that's an essay, right? That's that research paper. All of the other projects fit into other genres. So I wanted to give you an understanding of that. And you can think that we spend about 2 weeks on each unit, although the 2 units in the middle take a little bit more time than the first unit and the fourth unit. Now, let's move away from the content and let's talk about grading. Again, I'm trying to be very, very, very streamlined here. And so the entire course is worth 100 points. Nice and easy. And if you look, I've given you a breakdown here. The first project is worth 20 points, the second project is worth 20 points, the third project is worth 25, and the fourth project, that reflection, is worth 10. So that's 75 points right there. You have 15 points connected to the writing journals you'll be doing, and then you have 10 points for the discussions. Now, there's a little bit of built-in extra credit. And what I mean by that is that I give you more discussion boards than are equal to 10 points. So you can actually achieve more than 10 points for the discussion boards should you wish to partake in all of them. So there's like 3 or 4 points of extra credit that's built into the course from the get-go. But again, 100 points overall. And again, I hope it's straightforward and streamlined. All right, now let's just talk about how long the course is. The course is 8 weeks, and that is fast. In the first 8 weeks of this semester, I taught this same course, and I asked for the students to provide some advice to new students coming into the course. And invariably, the majority of the students said that in order to be successful, you had to be consistent and you had to be organized. And so there you go. That's what the students are saying. Make sure that you give yourself the time each week to stay on top of things. And when I talk about each week, let me give you a sense of what an individual week is like. Each week, you will be writing at least 2 writing journals, one for the first day of the week and one for the second day of the week. On some weeks, you'll also be working on a draft for one of your major assignments, and you'll also be involved in discussion boards. So there are 3 things happening each week: those writing journals, the drafting for assignments, and discussion boards. And so you have to make sure that you give enough time to do those, along with reading all of the materials and watching all of the video lectures and all of that good stuff. So it's an accelerated course, but it is time intensive. So please take that into consideration as we get started. If you have any questions or concerns, I gave you my email. You can contact me via Canvas, and I look forward to getting started. Welcome to English 202. Take care.